Another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. I'm a host, Brandt, joined by
Tyler Thomas
and Brennan.
First off, because it's, Thanksgiving week, we want to say thank you for listening and participating and just kind of listening and watching.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was so thoughtful and,
I know.
and heartwarming.
Yes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
I just feel that right in my heart. Yeah,
right.
Thank you.
That's where I was trying to go, right to the heart.
Everybody who listens, we love you. Thanks for making this fun for us, and we think it's fantastic that you listen at all. So thank you.
Yeah, it's the end of our third season doing this, and we're not stopping. We're just going to keep going.
And our predictions, we got so many things right, so you guys will see how insightful we are.
We want to thank you for listening. Also, thank you our sponsor. We have a sponsor?
Yes, Elysium Financial. Those guys over there are fan-freaking-tastic. Great to work with. Awesome people. If you need some financial planning or have some rough financial questions that you need answered, call them, look them up, myelysium.com, ut.myelysium.com for the financial advisors. Check them out. Good stuff. Good guys.
Well, I guess Brandon Steinekert lost his ability to sponsor this podcast, so sorry, Ghost Pickleball. It was
we can still mention them.
Yeah, we love.
We can still say it, but I mean, he's
taking a back seat,
a hat,
right?
I just want a hat.
Yeah, kind of a back seat now. Kind of got ghosted by.
And also, you should be playing tennis instead of pickleball. So.
Oh, gauntlet thrown down.
Yeah.
So we wanted to, before we get into maybe talking about things we're thankful for, that's a question I have later. We wanted to go over our predictions. We kind of talked about it in a previous episode. But we also want to thank you for listening to. We have some other, not necessarily timely, but interesting episodes. You can check out our episode with Emmy Award winner Mark Jensen, who is the post-sound guy on Engineer on Welcome to Wrexham, a fantastic show. Whether I want to admit it or not, I enjoyed catching up on that.
Lots of swears in that show, but we kept it to just a couple swears on the podcast, and I was able to beep them all out. So, did you like how I beeped those out?
Sorry.
That's right. It just goes right over you mouthing them, and it's funny on the video.
And then also we spoke with the man, the myth, the legend, Trey Fitzgerald, the Vice President of Communications with Real Salt Lake, who I was really surprised he was very forthcoming.
Yeah.
He wasn't
dodging stuff. He was right there.
Yeah, not necessarily Twitter Trey, where he's always got to be positive, and he's a bulldog who loves to defend the team, and that's fantastic. But when he said, you can go listen to everything he says, but he says that he would have only rated the season 6 or 7.
7 out of 10,
and would settle for a 6. He wouldn't argue. So it was a really good interview, and we've gonna catch up with him again before the season as well. So a lot of good episodes still coming your way.
Well, and that's a cool thing about the RSL Random Fan Podcast is we don't stop when the season does. We keep going. We keep trying to bring you guys interviews and really cool stuff in the upcomings. So be looking out for that. We got a lot of cool people lined up. So.
Yeah, we get a lot of support. A lot of, hey, shouldn't you be going off and doing a podcast or something? From my wife, okay.
Yeah,
kind of like, I need some space. I don't know if that.
Go do a podcast.
No, really, go.
Don't you and your guys need to go do a podcast tonight?
Go. Are you having a podcast every night? No. So let's let our actual predictions. From the first of the year, we went back, we collected them, and somebody's probably going to gloat about.
It's funny because some of our predictions almost happened, and then some of them happened, but then unhappened before the end of the season. So,
oh really?
It was crazy how the season went out and who got voted. And remember, the end of season awards were voted on by the players for the team. Trey clarified that. Yeah. It's not the organization handing out the awards. The awards were voted on by the players, which is cool.
Yeah, so for the team awards, Matt Crooks won them all.
Nope.
No, he got Humanitarian of the Year. He does some great work.
That one.
Yeah, they announced that one. But they also came out with Justin Glad, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Valuable Emeka Nelly.
Oh, you're just spoiling that? I thought we were going to go through each one. Okay.
That's not I'm going through our predictions. They've already released this.
Yeah, Chicho won the Golden Boot, which is a statistical award based on how many goals you score. So he won that, and he stopped halfway through the season and still won it.
Yeah.
What was it, in 23 games? 23 games, 17 goals?
17 goals, and still ended the season. But to be fair, he
once
made
you get
both his
done-
penalties. So what would have kept us in?
Oh, we don't want to talk about penalties
I mean,
right now. Come on now.
Right?
It's still fresh. The playoffs haven't even finished yet.
Okay, spot kicks. Some of those purists out there don't call it penalties. Okay, spot kicks. Kicks from the spot. At
Well,
the
I'm
end
going
of
to
the
come
game.
up and kick you, and then you can call it a penalty. How's that?
Right, yeah.
Wow,
Sounds
you
good
guys
to
are
me.
so manly. Holy
Mhm.
cow.
Oh,
You really
yeah.
tell these guys what's happening.
Yeah, so Chicho was so far ahead, he says, I don't even got to play.
Right?
Yeah, I'll just take some time off.
And I'll still win the Golden Boot. Take that.
Good
And
job.
Trey, that's a big thing. Trey explained the whole
That's what he
Chicho
said.
suspension,
Yeah.
but we promised we'd never tell.
Oh, I
Nope.
wish. Oh, man, that would have been
I was like,
fantastic.
come on, Trey. What happened? He's like, yeah, no.
No.
Well, back to Trey. No, that guy, he's a wealth of knowledge, and he also, he's surprisingly approachable. Like, he puts on a pretty good front of, like, this guy's serious all the time.
Yeah.
But when you talk to him about RSL, man, he just, like,
Lights up.
throws it out there. Like, oh my gosh.
Big huggers. Yeah, you want.
Yeah, he's a softie.
I mean, he even
But-
took a selfie with us at the end, right?
I know, and I think
Nice.
he was actually a genuine smile, so
Yeah.
don't put it past him. But yeah, please go check out that episode. Really great information. We don't know anything else other than what you know, so don't think that there's any sort of under-the-table conversations.
Yep.
Everybody was above that.
Yep.
But let's get into it. What do we recommend? Or...
Surprise player. This one was awesome.
Yeah,
so
we
We put this at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
Surprise player.
So, Brennan,
and I'm
what
not
was your
wrong.
surprise player?
I wasn't wrong. So I'll say what it is, and then I'll tell you why I'm not wrong.
Okay.
So it was Jacqueline,
Okay.
who
13.
had a couple games last season. I'm not surprised because, I'm not completely wrong because I'm surprised he is still on the team. So, but not in a bad way. But he got loaned out, and then we don't even know if he's coming back.
Tomorrow is the deadline.
For all the contracts.
Yeah, when the teams need to release all the contracts and what they're doing. When we talked to Trey, he thought it might be coming out early, but that hasn't been the case. They probably have some big decisions to make.
Yeah, there's been a few around the league that have kind of moved on from people and stuff, but Real hasn't really done a whole lot yet.
So Tyler, what was your surprise player?
My surprise player was Gavin Beavers was going to take over the starting spot, and McMath was going to break his leg, and that's why he was going to get the spot. But it ended up almost happening. I mean, Beavers got his chance, and he started
got his
3
chance
games and
and
got
his chance
9 goals
and his
scored
chance.
on him, and he just went right back to the freaking bench. And then McMath played like a man in the playoffs, and by that I mean to the best of his abilities as a human.
Oh, playoff McMath was.
Playoff McMath was next level.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that first
Yeah,
game.
he didn't. It was definitely not his fault. So there it is, and
You want to know my surprise?
didn't end up working out.
No, but Xavier Gozo. I thought he was going to come out of the blue and really have a great season. He has been
Get some
called up.
poacher goals and
He's been
stuff.
called up to the youth national teams that he's
Talented kid.
available with. So I think as far as surprise player go, we totally missed.
So I hate to say I won that one, but I
Good,
mean,
well,
Bertine
yeah.
and Goza were so far away from anything Beavers did.
Well, we just
But
need
I
to,
gotta take the W.
we
guys.
need to clarify what a surprise player is. It's not like, is it like, oh, we didn't think they were going to do that great, and then they did do great?
We'll set the criteria next year, but I'm
Okay,
pretty
okay.
sure I won that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're the only one that had the home team, a guy that had
Played
any
it.
significant playing
Yeah.
time. So yeah, I guess that might be the criteria. Who gets the most minutes and has the most impact? Because you could play more minutes and not have an impact, as big as impact. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay, so
Defender of the year was the next one. What?
Whoa, we're going to talk about this year. Who's the actual surprise player, no?
Okay, yeah. Who is the actual surprise
Like, in
player
your
of the year?
opinion, since you took first place, you get to talk first.
Yeah, go
Who
Tyler.
was your surprise player this year
Well,
at the end of it all?
the signing window was, I mean, all those guys, I don't think we can count them.
Are you talking about Diogo and
Yeah, all those guys I think are
Mark
off
Zug,
the table because
Lennon? Or
they're all a surprise, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no way we could have predicted.
Yeah, we could say
sign those
15
guys.
games minimum.
So for me, I think the surprise player of the year was Diego Luna. He was pretty good last year, and this year he's one of our best players. He was go-to down the stretch. He was clutch in the big games, and became, especially once we kind of had the new team.
with Gomez gone. And
Yeah, with Gomez leaving, he kind of became our go-to guy, and still is young, very young player in Diego Luna, and I think, to me, that's the surprise player of the year. Just the impact that he's having now. Went from a good on and off winger to a guy that's going to make an impact at almost every game.
Yeah, I can see that.
What about you?
For me, I got to say Quentin.
Yeah.
Had no idea that by the time he got hurt, that I would wish he would still be on the field. Like, when he got hurt, I was like,
Against it?
Oh, you know what I
so
mean?
sad.
coming in from Columbus, you don't really, you think he's kind of just like the backup guy. But man, that guy put in work. I mean, he was solid. I mean, before he hurt his hamstring, like, I was rooting for him, and not much was getting past him. I think he was probably the surprise player that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, he looked like the best right back we had all season.
Yeah.
When he was over there.
Yeah, for a while there, he was. I think it took him a bit to find his space, and it's hard when you're a tall center back to
Also changed the way what's being asked of you from the back line. Yeah.
Now go play right back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because Columbus isn't playing the way we're playing.
Yeah. So.
And he's kind of a big guy.
Just a little bit.
So my surprise player. I'm trying to.
You know I weigh more than him, right?
He's been in the locker room.
You know I weigh more than him too, right?
Just kidding. All right, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I probably weigh more than him and Brody.
Yeah, who's taller, him or Crooks?
I think he
Quentin
is.
is, yeah.
I think he is.
Okay.
For me, I think the real surprise player for me was Ojeda.
Oh, you can't say that's a surprise, man. I rebuttal.
So we want me to go deeper in the bench then for surprise? Because I thought, for me, Ojeda was the MVP. I can see why they picked Emeka Nelly, but for the surprise for me that he was so impactful.
Well, he's the backbone. He is the base level of whatever we're doing.
But if we wanted to go a little deeper into who was really more
Like,
of
it's a surprise. It's like,
okay.
wow, he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, somebody that was on the team at the first of the year.
Yeah.
So Brown's out, even though he was kind of a surprise.
Brown, Brooke,
Yeah.
Diogo,
Zug,
Mark Zook.
all those guys are out. So maybe
Or
it
could
had
he
to
be
be Beavers, right? Maybe. Could
Yeah,
have
I
been.
wouldn't go with Beavers.
I mean, he just didn't have an impact like we wanted him to, but he was.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, and
Were you surprised that Crooks didn't just take over
Matt
the
Crooks
league?
was my
and,
surprise player. No, I want. Maybe the surprise for me is that we didn't have a right back, but that's not fair either. We couldn't figure out that right back position. But I did like Ojeda. I thought he was my MVP for the team in the season. And you picked Luna. So yeah, it's that. I'm gonna stick with
Pretty
Ojeda.
good.
I think.
What about, like, were you guys surprised
Quentin,
that Gomez was out? Did you think we were going to have Gomez the full season?
I didn't think so. I was surprised that he got sold for as much as he did as soon as he did.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And he's now starting and scoring goals.
Yeah, and Red.
When he got over
Brennan.
some injury, he's a little bit recovered from some injury.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of. I was trying to think, because I thought Mark Zook was a surprise. He came in a little earlier, right?
Yeah, you didn't know what to expect with him. You saw a couple of first games that were very fun.
Well,
But-
and Brooke looked better right away.
He looked
when they
faster,
just got
more
here.
energetic.
Yeah, he was bringing
But he-
energy all over the field, but he wasn't getting any good results.
Nothing was connected.
But if you go
yet.
across the back line, was Katranis a surprise?
Not really.
No, he was
kinda
just
knew
so
what we had last year.
good, man.
Vera and Glad, they were
Well, let's go this
surprisingly
way.
average.
Who was surprisingly bad this year?
Yeah, that's to be fair. I mean, who didn't have the season?
Because I thought Oviedo was like doing fine, doing great, playing center back sometimes, and then all of a sudden we're like, and you're out. And
Yeah,
I don't know, it just didn't seem like it fit with what he was playing and his contribution to the team, and maybe it was a money deal, but it did seem a little bit strange, or maybe
no.
unfair.
It was the international spot. It had
Yeah.
something to do with that, right? They
Right.
wanted to get a
No, they had
Diogo
to,
in.
yeah, they had to free that up.
Yeah, so
And he was
it was
taking
for the
it,
greater
but-
good, which is unfortunate because I really liked that guy, and he was
Yeah.
a really just a good sportsman guy, on the field. A lot of sportsmanship,
Yeah.
really nice to all the guys, worked hard.
Yeah.
That sucked.
I
Yeah,
can't.
that's pretty sad. But that's a business of sports, so Brandt probably loved it.
The biggest surprise for me was probably in a negative was not figuring out the back line and that right back. And I know it's hard to hear me talk about it, but it just didn't seem like they gelled. It was better than the season before, but not much better. There were some injuries.
Yeah,
but
by
it's-
committee is better than Brody at this
Yeah.
point, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, see what happens. I think we'll be surprised. There'll be some long-time players that won't be on the roster next year because that's just the nature of the game. You can't play forever. I think
should we guess those?
I think Chang is probably going to be gone.
What do you think, Brendan? Who's your
I don't
vote
wanna
for
talk-
long-lasting
I-
player that won't make the roster next year?
I don't want to do that.
No?
It's not fair.
I don't.
All right. All right, I'll say Brody. You said Chang. We got 2 out of 3.
Dude.
It's just a guess, dude. It's not. We don't like him. We still like him. We still want him on the team. We just are guessing.
You
he might
have
not
to
make it.
I love those guys. You have to have players like that on your team. Consummate
Glue guys.
professionals that are going to be there for practice and they're going to fill in when people get injured. They're going to be people you can throw in to try and change up the chemistry when you're down 4-0, see what happens.
Yeah.
But you can't. You can only have so many of those. If you have too
Right.
many, then
Well, I think we're forgetting somebody that has that same style, and I think that was Anderson Julio.
yeah.
I think that was
a good one. Great one.
I think he's a huge surprise because he kind of was hot last year with his, coming on for the last 10 minutes, kind of changing the game up. But he got quite a bit of starts this season, so I think he started to become more matured on the field. So
That's
I
a
like
great
that.
one. Thanks for saving me with that one. That
You're
was,
welcome. So you chose Anderson Julio.
Thank you. Yeah, Anderson Julio. I love Anderson Julio. I love what he brings to the team.
And second leading scorer of the year, right? When it came to goals, or was it after? Well, Gomez had 13, right? So Julio had 9, but he almost got to double digits.
All right, let's go to the next one. So defender.
Defender of the year. We'll start. I'll go first. How's that?
Yeah,
I went with Catranis,
Such a good one.
that was a good vote.
but I don't know if he's a good. He did. I guess he did some defending. His role is to be up top, get higher, and get into the game. I thought he is out of the back four. He's probably the most solid for asking.
Most solid. I
offensive.
would say most dynamic.
For asking him to do something, he does what is asked of him, and he does it well.
He fights.
And he's a scrapper.
Yeah, he's into the game. It's not just this is my job. It's like he's in it for the game.
Well, and he had 3 goals and 3 assists too. So it
Clutch
was-
goals.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of those were game winners too.
Yeah.
So, but does he classify as defender of the year?
He's too attacking. You know what I mean?
I think I'm gonna win this one anyway. It's close enough. It's kind of like the first one.
Well, I mean, I voted for Holt, so that didn't work out so good. I mean Vera. I said Holt was my hope, but yeah, I really thought Vera was gonna have a better season than he did. He kind of got stuck with some injuries and then a couple of suspensions, and the suspension towards the end of the year just sucked, man. It made a whole club look poor, and that's just sad, from the spitting incident.
Yeah.
Like, that's classless, bro. Like, you gotta have class. in this
That
league,
happens.
you
That
know?
happens on the pitch. All the
No,
time.
but like, take a cheap shot with your elbow or something. Like,
And what's his name?
in the
Boxall?
play.
Boxall?
Yeah,
If you-
Boxall's the biggest jerk in the MLS.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but spit, bro. No, like shove him
Wow.
over, clock him, stand over him, do those little things that intimidate. But spitting on people, man, I think you
Yeah,
cross
I
the
hate
line
it.
right
I
there.
hate anything to do with phlegm. I'm out.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Earwax too. I don't think you should be able to. You know, like that's not cool either. You know.
No wet woolies.
No, not in MLS.
Only in the NBA. Hey, Gordon Hayward.
So for mine, I'm going to hold to it. I still think I won. I think it was Oviedo. If you would have been the whole season, I think we would have been saying, yeah, well, Brennan, you're right.
I'm pretty much gonna have to go with Brandt on that one. Katranis out.
All
Well, I
right.
mean, and obviously it was Glad at the end of everything,
Yeah.
but he had a rough couple moments.
Wow, that was a disrespectful circle over your
Yeah.
own name.
One
You know what's
point for
crazy, though?
Brandt. Yeah.
I'm like the only one here that actually supports the Defensive Player of the Year. So why don't I get a point for actually being like correct?
Oh, you
What do you
did.
mean?
Because I have zero thoughts of getting rid of Justin Glad. I have zero
I
thoughts of
don't
him
think we
being
should get rid of
capable
him
of
either.
his position.
I had a chat with him the other day.
Oh, you went to the futsal team?
Oh, now you tell
he
us.
showed up at the futsal thing, and I showed up, and
What'd you talk about?
we actually chatted for a little bit. I said, "Hey, man, are you kind of the mindset of like?" And first I said, "You should come on the podcast," and then he was like, "Ah, maybe," you know. And I was like, "Dude, but you live here then, like year round?" And he's like, "Yeah, I live up here. I like it. I didn't want to leave, and so a couple years ago, I just made a home here and stayed, and then." Like I had an apartment with 5 guys, and then I moved, and he was kind of mentioning the places, and I said I wouldn't mention it on the podcast, but he kind of said yeah, and so now I live here though. I have
Is that
for a few
because of
years.
the restraining order?
Against me or you?
Was your shirt
You've
on
already
or
been
off?
to his house.
No, we were on the football courts. Anyway, so I said, hey, are you kind of thinking like longevity? You want to be here, you like being here, is that kind of, because if you play your whole career here, that's saying something, man. You can kind of stick around and write your ticket for the rest of your life. Like, he's like, no, dude, I love Utah. I love it here. Only if somebody came in and really wanted to like elevate me into Europe would I even go. And so it's worked out so well here. I don't want to. I love it. I love being an RSL. I hope to be an RSL legend someday, and kind of that vibe. And I'm like,
It pretty much is though. You gotta
Yeah.
admit, like if you look, Javi Morales, Beckerman, Glad.
well, and all the guys that came up with him.
Ramondo, sorry,
right?
Ramondo.
Yeah, I mean, and Ramondo was there too, but he wasn't as talkative as Glad. But
To you, somebody wasn't talkative?
well, his
That's-
wife,
there's
his
no
wife
way.
was more talkative. I got way more out of his wife than I did out of
Whoa,
Nick.
chill, dude.
I'm just
What-
talking.
Oh,
What
you're
are you
talking,
saying?
okay.
Come on, man. They're just words. I'm
Nick,
talking
Nick,
to people.
Nick,
Nick,
Seriously.
Hey, Nick.
Nick,
Hey, Nick.
Nick,
And then
Nick.
his wife's
can you
like,
block this one,
"What?"
Nick?
And I'm like, no, we know who you are as well. Like, it's all right, So we started talking. Anyway, so Justin, I was kind of putting it on him, and he was kind of confirming what I was saying. So I don't know if he's just an agreeable guy and was like being nice to this podcaster who was talking his ear off, or if he really wants to stick around and be kind of long term here and be the Karl Malone of soccer in Utah. I don't know.
Oh, I hate that. I don't like. Oh man.
You don't like Karl Malone, or you don't
I'm
like
just not a real
him
big.
sticking around for 10 years, 15 years?
You don't think Justin Glad deserves
10
a
years
car
and then
dealership?
just to go to the Lakers.
You get a car dealership, and you get a car dealership.
Yeah,
Come on down to Justin's. We're glad to see you.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
You're
That
doing
was
so
really
great.
good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the opposite end. We were on defender, now we're on offensive player of the year.
Go first, Brennan.
I said Ojeda to focus on figuring out the system. Oh, yeah.
And
Dude, I think that guy, if he had a bad game, we had a bad game. If he had a good game, we either got by or we had a great game. He was like movement through the middle for any opportunity for Chicho or Diogo or Luna. It all went through him or Emeka, but Ojeda really controlled the tempo and the movement through the field that Emeka can't quite do. He just doesn't have that same natural cadence to his movement. I stand firm. I think I won that.
2 goals, 4 assists for the Offensive Player of the Year.
Well,
Now, he was the Iron Man, 26.90 on the minutes, 33 matches played, 31 starts, which are both team highs, tied with Anelli.
what I would say then, he is the John Stockton of Real Salt Lake. Because John Stockton was what? Defensive and offensive. Everything kind of went through him.
Yep,
Players
yep.
didn't want to play against him. It was kind of the same thing.
Yeah, he's a tough guy to play against.
Most
too.
opportunities came through hit his work.
Yeah, and then I voted for Chicho.
Obvious.
The guy that can kick the ball in the net more than everybody else. But don't worry, folks, he also brought in 6 assists. So 17 goals, 6 assists. And you just can't beat 23 goals and assists, man. Like, it's too good. It's too awesome. Plus, he made his penalty. Like, he's the Colombian guy we all want on this team. We just got to get him back to the form he was at the first of the year.
Well, that's the thing.
And he'll be fine, but we keep saying it. But he's got to get back to that.
That's the
form.
thing. Ojeda played the whole season.
Whole season.
The whole
his
season.
His level stayed the same.
And that's why Chicho didn't win the team vote, which I think is very interesting.
Who won the team vote from offensive player?
MVP.
Emeka.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
MVP, yeah. Emeka and Ellie won it, but they didn't vote on Offensive Player of the Year. We're just deciding that between the 3 of us.
And I
But I
went
think
with
it's Chicho.
Matt Crooks because he's from England, and that didn't work out well.
No, I think Matt made his case towards the end of the season how valuable he
Well,
was.
I hope the fans noticed what he was doing, because that's a tough position to be in when you're not just on the score sheet. He's doing a lot of work that only players would really know.
He's Matt Tangible. He's an intangible.
Yeah, he's doing things that don't have a stat sheet for.
Like working extra hard, making runs to the corner, freeing up the
I would
lanes
love
down the middle.
I would love a stat that says, off the ball run to
freed
open
up
up play or something.
yeah.
I mean, that's a great stat.
Right? That'd be hard to quantify.
Well,
but
during the playoffs,
it would be awesome.
During the playoffs, they had the stats, and he was putting in more miles than anybody on the team.
Oh yeah, he was
He
traveling.
was towards the end of the season too.
Yeah, I think
the
he
last 5
really.
games.
When he first came here, the team had to figure out how to play with him, how he plays, and I think they finally started to gel. And you saw it when Pablo talked about him, when Trey talked about him, everybody talked about Matt, that he's just he had all the intangibles, and he was doing things that people don't give him credit for. Because there's a lot of fans. I think he's one of those players where everyone's like, "Oh, Matt Crooks, get him out." He's not doing anything, but
he's not fast. He's not super creative. He's not, but he's all those things.
He is.
And
Yeah.
he is a silent assassin. I love that about him. He gets
Not even a fart, just
he gets his
What?
he gets his pound of flesh every game.
Oh yeah, he gets his beat in on the other team. He knocks him down.
Was it
him.
the Minnesota game when when they were in Minnesota and somebody was a box or somebody on the back line knocked down one of our players and
and they threw Mark Zook into the sideline.
and
I loved that so much.
Yeah,
And
then
Crooks just
came back and
took
just
him.
leveled a couple other speedy guys. I was like, O'Shea and the other
and
guy,
then he just hops up,
he's like,
says nothing, and sends a
off we go.
message. I do kind of like that. He's not cheap. Not cheap.
But definitely sending the message.
So I like that. So then we get down to our
Wait,
MVP.
Who won that one?
I'm going to lean towards Brennan just to make it so we all have one. And then we'll see who wins the MVP.
Okay.
Just put on Tyler. Just do it. He put
17
Chicho,
goals.
Golden Boot.
Come on, man. You can't beat that.
Just do it, man. It's like going over. It's
we're
like
trying to build suspense.
If this was the Miami Random Fan Podcast, and then we said MVP, let's see,
Messi.
Messi.
Yep.
Yeah,
I picked Suarez,
duh.
but no. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
All
Sergio's
right.
name.
So MVP.
MVP, and this it's a tie, but this will knock out Brennan right away. Who did you pick, Brennan?
I picked up Pablo Ruiz.
Well, I picked Johnny Menendez.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, the year before.
Well,
It
this
was
is
a
going to
long
be
time
close.
ago.
This is going to be close because I went with Matt Crooks, and we just went on and
You
on
went for
about.
Chicho again? What?
I know. I picked
He likes
Chicho for
he just likes to go
MVP.
first every time we.
Chicho. No, but I think Brennan gets the honorable mention here because he thought Ruiz would be playing in the spot that Ojeda pretty much filled the whole season. And then Emeka stepped in when Ruiz went down, and so basically our pivots is what Brennan was saying. So he got the position right.
Oh, I'm not very competitive in this game. That doesn't make any sense. You can circle your name. It's totally fine.
No, you got the position right. I think you win that.
I think
one.
you kind of edge it out. With,
No, I
you
think
go with Chicho.
I think Chicho.
That's what I'm saying. He just kind of edges out. I thought Matt Crooks.
That's just because you want to hug him.
He's so tall. No. I do like Matt Crooks. He's the kind of player I like. I like.
No way! Tell that to the podcast for the 17th time.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it you like him?
I like him because he's very matter
He's
of
sweaty.
fact.
He's sorry. What?
Swarthy.
Swarthy. Oh yeah.
No, I like him because he's very matter of fact, and he just goes about his business. And I really like players that do that. I don't generally gravitate towards
Men.
I love men. That's not fair. No, I don't gravitate to players that are ostentatious, just out there, and
Chicho-esque.
I like
you don't like the
Chicho.
flamboyant ones. You like the strong ones.
Yeah.
Strong, silent assassins.
Seriously. Nobody talks about what we do.
So I do like those kind of players that are just kind of matter of
So you'd
fact.
say like a dude in a closet kind of a thing.
No, inside a closet, outside a closet. It doesn't matter to me. So I think Tyler kind of.
What are we talking about?
Well, we could.
All
talking about
let's
points,
talk about
baby.
points.
Points. Let's see who overall, who had the best guess.
Well, we'll start with the low guess. The low
All right,
guess
I
was
went-
brought to you by...
Mr.
Me.
Pessimist.
50 points, 6th place.
Ooh, what was 6th place actually? Do we know that number?
And then-
It was pretty close to 50 points.
Well, and then we had an argument about what that number would be, what places would be, right? And I
Yeah.
said, we'll end up with 52 points, but we'll still take 3rd place. So I was thinking a lot of ties and
Yeah, like a
standings
more
would
stout
be
league.
super tight, and none of that happened at all,
Okay.
right? So, I mean, the
so
standings
6th
were a
place
little
was
less, honestly.
52 points.
Oh, 52, 54.
So 52 was 6th place. So good job, Brennan.
Awesome. Yeah, I said 63 points, going for an all-time record for the club, and 2nd place. So I was only 1 place off and 3 points off, or 4 points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler nailed the place, but he was 7 points off. No, you had.
Yeah, I had 3rd place, but I was off on the points by quite a bit.
Did I say that 52 points would be 6th place?
Yeah,
Oh, say it.
right? And that's where Minnesota ended up.
Yeah.
52 points, 6th place.
So I think you guys kind of tied. Well, I guess Tyler got it right. I mean, but Brennan was closer on points.
Right.
Oh,
So
that's
you
okay.
got the
Nobody
points,
cares.
I got the place.
I'm pretty sure nobody's even listening to this.
And
podcast.
I made a
Keep it
point
tracked,
to.
dude.
I
We got a
listened
whole
to the
tip sheet
episode.
going.
I went back and I looked at it and it said, Brandt was concerned with the back line and the defense. Brennan frustrated with the right back situation. Tyler thinks maybe Justin Glad. I don't know what that meant, but
Yeah, just
So we-
glad he came
We
From-
gotta get a new secretary, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's even it's Times New Roman still. I mean, no brackets, no bullets.
it's Comic Sans. Who are you talking about? What are you
Oh,
talking
it is,
about?
yeah. And then apparently a ref strike at the end there.
I made a note of ref strike because we totally forgot all about it.
Oh, we did?
We were so grateful.
When
that
was
we
the
just
ref
gave
strike?
up.
Start of the
Start of the
season, I
season.
went like 3 or 4 games.
You remember that?
Oh, and
The
we were
sub refs?
complaining so much about that.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Because
man.
everybody was so impressed with Messi.
We're
like,
so
they called
annoying.
that game so weird in Miami.
Well, it was almost like the World Cup that he won. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
similar officiating. Ronaldo's better. So let's talk about the playoffs right now because we're
But
still
right
in it.
now, Messi's better. Right now, Messi's better than Ronaldo. And I've been on Team Ronaldo up until
Okay.
the last 2 or 3 years.
How many?
But Ronaldo is not right now because he didn't set up a team
How old is Ronaldo?
to take him
How old is he?
the way he is. I don't know. How old is he?
He's like
You're the Ronaldo
39.
fan. I'm the
He's like-
backup Ronaldo fan. Come on, we're on the same
Ronaldo.
team.
Go to Ronaldo's age.
Oh, he's gonna have
Jamie!
to start using those big fat.
How does Jamie do so fast on Joe Rogan? Like he's like right with it. Ronaldo age 39. See, I was right.
Yeah.
And then what's Messi? 37.
Right.
So now tell me.
Well, that's
Tell me this.
what we know. Just kidding. He's
He-
from Argentina.
How many bicycle kicks
How many
has
bicycle
Lionel
kick
Messi
goals?
hit this year? How many times has he inverted his body to score a goal?
Dude, I'm on your side.
0 times.
Why are you upset?
Because Ronaldo is better. Ronaldo still got it, baby. Still got it at 39.
Why
Are
won't
you
he
kidding me?
sign for Kansas City, though, dude? That's the real question. Why won't he sign?
Billions
Kansas City.
and billions of
No, like,
dollars.
they were really going to sign him.
Because
Did you not know
Ronaldo-
there was a thing out there for Kansas City.
There's
You know why?
He was
Why?
almost going to come to Sporting.
Ronaldo can't come to the United States.
Oh, there was a little fiasco in that little Vegas.
Kind of like Kobe had.
Apparently,
Yeah.
things in Vegas don't stay there.
No.
Yeah, so Ronaldo, he probably, if he
And
does
there
come to
was
the United
the
States,
tax
he might stay
evasion
here for a
in
while.
Spain.
I don't know. That's all
Well,
hearsay.
I mean, who knows? I'll just
I mean, if we
casting
do,
aspersions.
I bet you in like 5 years' time, we're gonna be talking about, man, I can't believe Messi was that bad of a guy. You know what I mean? Like
You
he's
never
probably
know.
got some dirt.
I mean,
Yeah, what he did to Brody.
oh,
that was
dude,
dirty.
Just,
oh
Going
man,
back to the first game of the season, right? Where he chipped Brody.
Brody's on the ground in the gold outfit and just goes right over the
holding
top
his
of him.
leg like he's gonna die, and then Messi chips him, and then he's like, "I became a meme overnight."
Well, anyways, let's talk about the playoffs. What's happening? What's up?
do we want
So Minnesota played after us because they beat us. I don't know
Oh,
if you knew
dude,
that.
LA Galaxy.
But the whole East got messed up. The whole East.
I
Yeah.
know, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you,
every
Atlanta.
top seed lost. I mean, except Orlando. They were, I guess.
So
top
1, 2, and 3 are out.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5. Yep.
Atlanta was 6th or not 7th?
Yeah, they were 7th. No, they were 8th because they were on the road, right?
Oh, okay.
And
Well-
then they won, and then they had the home and away,
So-
and they beat Miami
In 3.
in 3 games.
Oh, they were 9th.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Red Bull's looking good. Atlanta not so great.
And
but-
Atlanta's out.
Oh, dude.
They lost. to
LA.
They lost to Orlando, yeah.
Well, there's another thing we need to talk about, but I don't want to talk about it just yet. But LA Galaxy. That's a cheat code. With Marco Royce, the German guy,
Dude,
and Ricky
and the
Puig.
Killer Bees.
And then,
Peck.
what's his name? Peck?
Killer
I don't
Peas,
like
yeah.
Peck. I just don't, he gives me that vibe of like, I just don't like him. But I bet he's a nice
But
guy.
I bet if he's on your team, you love him.
I think so. But what they're doing, they changed their whole season around this year. They were
Yeah.
not looking great at the beginning of the season.
No.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we're LA Galaxy.
And we're the Killer Peas. Yeah.
And same with Seattle. Brian Smetzer, they were talking about he was done in Seattle, and
Yeah.
they have worked their way up. They finished 4th, and they took out LAFC. Would you have put money on Olivier Giroud not scoring a goal in Major League Soccer?
Yeah, that was weird, right?
How long?
I mean,
How long was he playing?
he's played a fair amount.
I think it was 20 games.
Yeah.
I didn't
Like a
even.
lot.
I didn't even sit here like in the play, like when you watch the highlights. I never heard his name.
Right.
Like he never got the ball.
Here's the problem. The way he plays doesn't translate well in MLS because we have a lot of big guys who can handle being pushed around. Not Benteke style. Benteke's another level of physicality. But Giroud style, almost every center back in the league can handle his physicality. And so, to me, I didn't think that was a great signing when he was coming here. It's no Gareth Bale. You know what I mean? He's no Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he can golf.
I would
Gareth
say
Bell
no.
can golf, man.
I know that's what the point.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
he golf more than me.
But no, so now take this scenario. We pull it off in the PKs and we beat Minnesota. We play LA. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we
I
have
think
an
it's a better
opportunity?
game than that.
Oh, I think that too. But do you feel that we would overpower LA?
No, that's a
If
great
Chicho was on his
question.
scoring streak and he was still hot, he gets 1 or 2 because he was so good for so long, right? And
Yeah.
Maybe it's a 4-3 game.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's 3-3, and somebody gets the goal late, and maybe it's probably LA Galaxy at the moment, but
Well, just
Yeah.
like Seattle snuck one in on LAFC. Like, LAFC's still a really good team, but they had, I think, 2 weak spots, and I think it was their Frenchies.
Ah, dude, I'm just so glad Buonga's not in the final.
yeah,
I mean,
and
he's the third Frenchie.
their keeper
that
kind
did
of
fine.
went down, Geslow and
Yeah.
Zach Morris, or is that Zach?
Who are you talking about? Seattle's keeper?
No,
Stephen
Fry?
Fry?
no, LAFC's.
Oh, the really
Frenchie
fancy guy.
He
Yeah.
used to play at Tottenham.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Yeah, that guy.
Gosh,
Starts
we're
with
such
an
a
F.
good
Click that
podcasters.
link.
he
I
kind of
bet it'll
went.
tell you if
We
you
don't need
click
to
on the
stare at
LAFC
this.
thing.
Come on, Jamie.
He went to his left, and Morris went. Jordan Morris.
Oh, yeah, Jordan Morris. He scored that late goal.
We're looking for a goalie.
Line up. There you go. Now scroll it. There he is.
Loris, yeah.
Lloris.
Hugo Lloris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't great. To
So
be fair,
Wasn't
and
great in the snow.
Stephen Fry was great.
So we got Seattle and LA duking it out for the West. And then we have, is it Red Bull?
Wait, so who do you guys want to go through? Seattle or the Galaxy?
Oh, the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would prefer the Galaxy over Seattle.
Because I feel like the Galaxy have a better story. They have a better quality. They're playing at a higher level. I think I really want it feels that the league is changing. It feels like the quality of play is changing in the style. That old kind of like Dax McCarty style is out the door,
yeah,
and I'm here for it.
yeah.
I really didn't like MLS 4 years ago. 4 years ago, MLS was just like, it's just not exciting, nothing
harder
fun.
to watch. Yeah,
Yeah, and you're starting to see that more elegant style of play coming out. LA's playing it right now. LAFC's kind of not really doing that. They're trying, but they have too many celebrities and they're not gelling.
I think the LAFC is kind of weak at the head coach.
That could be it, but I don't like Seattle's way of playing. And the
it's
other
kind of the old school.
Yeah, it's kind of like the top of what the old school used to be, and I don't think that should be rewarded.
So you think it's better for the league if LA?
I think so
Galaxy
too, because
wins,
then it's going to set the tone for like, okay, what worked last year? And it was like, okay, LA's model worked. You know, they didn't go in and get the flashiest of players. They got a great signing by Marco Royce, because I think if they didn't get Royce and we make it to playoffs, we have a chance of kicking their butt. He really set them apart and really connected those missing pieces. But I think if they win, next season we're going to see different signings and we're going to see different styles of play going forward. And it's exciting. It's really fun. But if Seattle wins, it's just going to go back to the same crap it always is. And they're going to go,
Plus-
hey, come, let me throw a fish at you. Let me
Plus,
catch a fish.
Freddie Juarez is still there, so I still kind of want him to lose.
Yeah.
What about the other side? What do you think?
Red Bull and Orlando? In Orlando, Red Bull
Red
is
Bull are
7th.
hot. It's so strange.
I like
7th seed, dude.
I like them.
I'm rooting for the Red Bull to get to the final.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm
I want
not a
to
huge Orlando fan. Orlando's first trip to the Eastern Conference Final. New York's been there. I think they've actually been to the final. One of the original teams, right?
Yeah. Metro
Have-
Stars.
Have not
From
won a
yesterday.
title, so I'm kind of leaning for. I would prefer a Galaxy Red Bull final.
That's what I was hoping for too, especially.
Wait, you guys want a New York LA final?
Yeah, I do.
How cliche is that? Come on, man.
Well, no, did you watch?
Don
Come
Garber
on.
called. Don Garber called and said we really need to push this.
Oh boy, who's
Did
the
you-
ref of the game?
Did you guys
Who's
see the
the
goal
ref?
from the Red Bulls though?
Yeah.
That was top bins, like just skyrocket.
So
oh,
good, huh?
man, that's what I want in a final. Just
Yeah.
some old school
And
goals like that.
New York City FC. Their coach out the door.
No way.
Yeah. Been
What's
some changes.
what's the Montreal? Is it Montreal?
Vancouver's.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
Sartini.
Sartini
He's
out
out
the
too.
He's
door.
finally gone, even though he had his little hissy fit.
Yeah.
That was tough to watch.
Yeah, that
It's
was.
tough to watch a grown man just kind of spiral.
Kind of lose his mind. Like,
I know,
I've
it
seen
was-
people in traffic do it, and then they usually like crash into something, and you're like,
Yeah, it's
"Wow,
tough
bro,
to see,
you
man.
kind of probably shouldn't have."
So, anything else on the playoffs? Like the Saturday, the 30th.
Wait,
Do you know what we
who are we
should?
picking for the final?
Okay.
We just said LA and Red Bull.
Okay.
Who do you want to win? Who do you
Who
think
do you
wins?
want to win then?
It would be really cool to see New York
East Coast,
win,
West Coast.
but I would, like I was saying before, I think LA Galaxy is going to set the league in the right direction.
So there's no center. Everybody's on the coast. I mean, Orlando's not on the coast, but
They're
it's,
on a coast. They're
they're-
kind of closer.
they're like halfway between the
Well, let's
Gulf
say
of
this:
Mexico
do you
and
want
the Atlantic coast.
They can't make up their mind.
Yeah, there's.
Do you want $6 million in Nebraska, or do you want $6 million on the beach?
What?
No, I'm just saying, like, you're
Oh,
talking
$6
about, like,
million,
these are all on the coast and...
No, I was just saying. We got northeast, northwest,
Oh, yeah.
southeast, southwest, right? Like
We got the corners.
yeah, we got the corners of the league basically. The only
LA,
one missing
Seattle.
is Miami.
New York, Orlando.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
that's kind of interesting.
That's such a cool
the
thing
way
for
that
Atlanta.
played out geographically. I'm a nerd when it comes to geography. Sorry, but I'm gonna call it now. Orlando
Whoa! Winning the whole thing?
wins it all.
Honestly,
And
if
if they don't, then that's fine. I mean, but I kind of want to see it.
if Orlando and LA go against each other, it's done. LA is kicking their butt.
I think so too, but I do hope Seattle does not make the final.
Oh, an Orlando Seattle final. Oh my gosh, how awful will that be? In Seattle on turf.
Oh, because it'll be
Not
in
going
Seattle on turf.
Well, let's see.
Yeah,
It might
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Orlando was fourth. Seattle was fourth.
No, the East was way worse than the West this year. So
Let's see. Orlando finished with
52 points. Yeah, see,
52 points.
that was sixth in the West. Remember we just covered that, right?
And
Yeah, it seems like the West
Seattle
was
was
stronger this year.
57 points. Yeah, so it'll end up in Seattle. That would be awful. And no, the only time it
Yeah.
was great is when we won there. But that would be a terrible place to watch
And
the final.
Yeah, and we beat LA there, right? That was-
Although MLS might like it because they might sell out. They open up to get 60,000 fans watching the MLS final.
yeah,
Who do you? I'm gonna go. I think LA Galaxy.
Yeah, we've already answered that, right?
Yeah. You think LA Galaxy? We agree with LA Galaxy. Surprised you didn't go with the obvious. Well, Chicho.
Orlando. Oh, Chicho's still in the final somehow.
No.
You guys are the one picking the favorites to win.
Yeah,
not
that's what I'm
me.
saying.
I picked the underdog.
Well, so let's talk about the expansion draft.
Ooh,
I brought up all the dates that are coming up.
the expansion draft.
November 27th, which is tomorrow when we're recording this on Tuesday, the 26th. Wednesday, the November 27th, the club deadlines to exercise options and submit bona fide offers. So we should know some more later this week. Then Monday, December 9th, half-day trade window. That's always exciting.
Yeah,
Day trade
yeah.
window.
Just stuff goes crazy. I mean,
Following
the,
a 3-month roster freeze, MLS clubs may begin adjusting their rosters by
What are we
conducting
even talking
trades.
about right now?
these are the dates.
I don't. Just can we talk
you
about
brought-
the important ones?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
December.
December 11th is the college showcase. December 11th is also the expansion draft. And then the 12th is free agency opens, and they get to the end of the year waivers, and then the re-entry process on December 12th and December 13th. But to your question, when is the expansion draft? That is December 11th. San Diego FC may select up to 5 players from the eligible player list
And they
Throughout
are.
the entire league.
throughout the entire league.
Yep.
It's-
They used to make it a
And
bigger. You
how
could
many-
build your whole roster from the expansion draft, but they
Not anymore.
changed it.
St.
so-
Louis was the last one.
Well,
No, it's
even
been
then,
several.
They were, I think,
But
only
how
7.
many-
We only had 10.
We get to protect 11 players.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty.
We
good.
could click on expansion draft rules and procedures because that's always exciting.
Thank you, Jamie.
5 rounds, select clock, timeouts, trades, key parameters. Let's see. Protected. The 20 that compete can protect 12 players from the senior and supplemental roster. And that is always an interesting list when it comes out because it shows who they value and if they are gambling. Like one year a team...
Wasn't it Herrera in the expansion or something like that? It was somebody that was like highly paid.
No,
Yeah.
it was a guy called Jason Kreis. And RSL...
No,
and they-
recently when St. Louis was doing their thing, somebody got pissed.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Herrera?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He got left out there because they thought, well, he's highly paid. They're not going to take him.
Well, RSL said, we have a highly paid player you're not going to take, and so they didn't protect Jason Grice, and he got picked. And they had to
do a trade.
Oh,
to get him back.
that's
to get him
right.
back.
Super
That's
lame.
way back in the old days, MLS 2.0.
Yeah,
That was like, what,
or
2006,
1.5 or
2007?
something.
Yeah, somewhere back in there.
Yeah,
So, but I always love seeing the expansion draft because
but like
the list.
the kids that came up through Generation Adidas and all that stuff, they are not
Eligible.
eligible, and DPs are automatically protected. So they say 12, but it ends up being like 18 for us. Because like Jay Glad's protected and stuff like that. Like they can't come in and take the kids that grew up in Salt Lake and came through our
Academies and stuff.
academies.
And if a player has a no trade clause in his contract, the club must protect him and will count as one of the 12 players.
Oh, has to, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not the league's fault. The team has to take care of that.
Yep.
All right. And then San Diego will be a club. And did you hear who is part owner of the San Diego?
No, I did not.
I want to call them the Wave.
The Wave, the San Diego, what's up, bruh?
Yeah, it's like the Beach Waves. That's what I want to call them. That's not their name, but we'll give them a nickname. Sounds like a
San Diego.
Surf ballers.
Juan Mata.
Bombs, surf bombs.
Tu
Yeah.
hermano, Juan
So
Mata.
who's owning?
I can't imagine.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. What a guy, man. I love Juan Mata. He didn't need to retire. It was,
He's still
it was,
playing in Australia.
It was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that didn't believe in him.
Yeah,
That's so dumb.
that guy was a good finisher, by the
Oh
way.
my gosh, such a good
Back in the
player.
day, yeah. But the first active player to be an investor in MLS. He's an
Nice.
active player for the Outback Steakhouses of Western Australia. I don't know.
I'm gonna sit in front of the laptop next
Somewhere.
time. That's what. Oh, that's gonna be my
That's
job.
what we're gonna do.
I'm
You
gonna
can
be
have it.
Jamie, but I'm like
You're
interactive Jamie.
Yeah.
You can have it. Here you
Oh
go.
no, it's too late. We're already done with the episode. What time are we at?
74 hours.
74 hours.
Yeah,
Holy
it's been a long
cow!
month.
And we're not even stuck in a crevice with our arm.
We can be. We can be.
It happened in Utah. It can happen again.
Got
I need a
pen.
dull knife.
Cut your night off. Cut your arm off.
Cut your night off. What was the other thing I wanted to chat while we were on the podcast around two old guys? What was it? Oh, what was it?
Sounds like three old guys.
Transfer window.
Oh, oh no, let's do. What's our? Oh no, actually, I was just going to do the Premier League.
Do we want to? I wanted to.
I don't
We'll
think we
save it
should.
for the very end.
Okay, let's.
But
see.
we can do the Come On Crawley update, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they got
Yeah.
a flag right there, so I guess we
Yeah.
gotta pay homage.
Yeah, pay homage. They started out hot and then they cooled off. We lost our coach. Remember when I
Where'd he
cried
go?
about that?
How'd
He
you
went
lose
to
The League Two.
League
he
Two,
went
back to
down
MK
a
Dons.
That's so strange.
And I've listened.
Dons are good.
I listened to some interviews, and Preston Johnson shaved his beard.
Are you
Oh,
kidding
yeah.
me?
No,
That thing was gorgeous.
I know. And
You guys are acting like he listens to this podcast or something.
No, it's just like we were.
it was a
joking
good.
about
It was a nice beard.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
a really good beard.
I mean, I missed that interview.
But there was an interview, and he was talking about the whole process on the other Crawley Town, the only other Crawley Town podcast I think that
Yeah.
talks about Crawley, Simply Reds. But he mentioned that they offered multiple times. They offered extensions to Scott, and he wanted to leave Crawley, which is sad.
It's too bad. It's
Well-
almost like, he was not there for the right reasons or something.
But they've struggled. They are out of the drop zone though. They're right above. They're starting to turn it around, and it's looking better. They lost 2-1 to Wrexham, even though they played well. They drew Stockport, and then they got boat raced by Barnsley, and then Brighton in the Carabao Cup.
Oh, okay.
And they
I was
lost
gonna
to
say, why
Wigan.
are they playing Brighton? They're in the Premier League. right?
They've started with their new head coach, they're kind of going to 4 in the back, and they're starting to gel. They've had some games they beat Cambridge, and then they beat Swindon Town in the Carabao Cup again.
And Las Vegas over in England.
They beat
Las
Blackpool.
Vegas.
Blackpool is like Vegas over there.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
What about
Sorry.
what happened in the Reading game.
I think did they draw?
No, Reading.
Oh yeah, they boat raced them 4-1. But after they beat Lincoln, but they struggled. But they had some late heroics against Maidenhead in the FA Cup, and like in 2 goals in stoppage time. They're in the National League, 2 leagues down, and so
they still barely scored 2 at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yikes,
So, but that
can be
kind of started to turn
right?
around after that. They drew Burton, they drew Huddersfield. They did lose to Wickham, but they lost to Wickham with like 73% possession.
Wait,
It was
Wycombe
crazy.
is Wickham?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Wycombe.
No, it's Wickham, and then they drew Bristol Rovers, and then on Saturday, the most recent game at home, they beat Rotherham 1-0, and you can just see the confidence building. It's still going to be a battle to try and stave off relegation, but I think they have it in them the way they're playing because
they have like 30 more games.
Yeah, they got 20-something more games.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of games.
There's a lot of games to go, and they've got the transfer window in January. But I'll show you something later. I'm sure people don't want to hear about it, but they picked up this guy Tyrese Johns-Jewell, and I think he came out of Arsenal, and he might be a sleeper. I'll show you this trap he had in the box off his knee. Wow, it was really good. So we're turning around, but we are not Wrexham, who's up there in 2nd place.
You gotta stop being a little baby about that,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Let that go, man.
Just let it go. Be at
You're
peace.
never gonna be
It's just
Wrexham.
another team in the cog that is England.
Okay. Anyway.
Ooh, that felt great.
So yeah, it's exciting to watch. They're starting to play better, so I like that.
Good.
And what about you guys?
Man City lost, and they are on a losing streak.
5 in a row.
It's so
I'm
good.
so stoked about that. I know Rodri's hurt.
Stay
I
humble,
know.
huh? Stay humble.
I know, right? What a jerk, man. I mean, just because he said it to the coach who wasn't in the game, right?
Yeah, Arteta's just like, and also he's like, what?
What? Why are you saying that to me? Anyway, no, it's Arsenal's done okay. They've gotten by. They've had a few too many ties, in my opinion, to teams they shouldn't have tied. A loss or two. They lost to freaking Newcastle and just some ugly play here and there. They got to get back on their horse and really start galloping because Liverpool right now is just kind of blown away with 31 points. And then you got Man City, which are still in 2nd place. But, you know, their goal differential is only 5, where Chelsea, Arsenal, and even Tottenham, who took it to Man City this last week, what was it, 4 or 5?
4-0.
Wow, dude. Just got worked.
I turned the game on. My wife didn't want to watch. She's a Tottenham fan, and she thinks if she watched, she's bad luck.
Yeah.
And I turned it on because she was just watching Hallmark, and
Oh, that explains a lot.
surprising. Did you know there was a Christmas movie on Hallmark? I didn't know if you knew that.
Oh,
No
yeah?
way.
Yeah.
Did
Is it
somebody
the one about that?
did somebody come into town? And then,
Yeah.
No
yeah,
way.
Yeah, it was
Returning
crazy.
to town
This
from
guy,
their
he just
big
kinda-
city job.
Yeah,
Forgot the
this
meaning
gal,
of Christmas.
Yeah, she was trying to get away from the hustle and bustle,
Uh-huh.
and she had to go back to her hometown, and there was this bake-off.
And so
No
then
way.
Chelsea. Oh wait,
And
Man
so she
City.
found her passion in baking,
Yeah,
Again,
and also
Yeah.
the man meat
down
that
at
she
the
wanted.
cookie farm.
the true meaning of Christmas.
Oh, cookies.
So, and then
Tottenham.
I was outside working. I come in and my wife still had the game on, and she was all excited. Tottenham was up like 2 or 3 already. So, but yeah, it's fun to see Man City finally tank, and if they could just finally punish them for cheating.
Yeah, if we could get Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Tottenham, even Nottingham Forest, who's having a great year, get those guys all up ahead, that'd be just great. Have them end up middle of the pack at least. You know, down by Newcastle where they're at right now, Brentford, Man United.
Man
Yes.
United.
United are
New coach.
4
So
4
excited.
4, bro.
So excited.
How's
I
that
mean,
feel?
yeah, he just drew against what was it? It was the
Oh,
Ipswich.
yeah.
Ipswich, I
the
believe.
worst team in the league.
Yeah, but you can tell that he's bringing on a brand new system, brand new things for the players. in that last game, you could tell that they were just like in their head. What am I supposed to be doing? What's going on?
Overthinking it.
Yeah, and man,
just play soccer, bro.
The way like his interviews after is like, okay, this is where we could put our money down. Like this is where like, oh, this is going to work. The way he handles, like, okay, he's like, yeah, could happen, and he's just so focused on football. And I think he's going to be super successful. I'm really excited for him. And Garnacho's a beast. So that's always
you've really had a struggle for a while as a Man U fan. As a Man U fan, all of them, they have struggled for a decade in the wilderness.
Well, I've been a Manchester United fan. I haven't been an Ajax fan ever. So like when he came on, I was like, okay, cool, maybe he could make it like that. But no, he was just Ajax in Man U colors.
Well, it's interesting because you want to kind of, as a coach, you want to imprint your style on your team, but also you got to play with who's there and figure out what works for them and how they're going to make a difference. And some coaches can't make the jump from team to team, and they're just, they're a good coach at the time for that team, but then when they make a jump, it's a different league and a different time and different players and different mindsets and different pay scale.
And if you're not joining into preseason, like that's tough because preseason is when everything gets done. So if you're coming middle through, it's just like, oh, now we gotta somehow adapt to
play
this
for
new
your
coach.
life kind of a thing.
Especially if he's coming in with a specific style of play.
And if he can just keep them from being relegated, that's a win, right?
We're like 5 points away from first or something like that. Like,
it's not.
I am not tripping whatsoever.
No, it looks like they might have made a good choice there.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else? I did have a question. I just wondered, since it's the week of Thanksgiving, anything you're thankful for in regards to being a soccer fan? Or is that just a really, really, really dumb question?
No, I'm thankful for Real Salt Lake. I'm thankful for the podcast. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
No, I wouldn't even be into Real Salt Lake without this.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I have a whole full-time job that takes up quite a bit
Pretty
of time.
demanding.
Yeah.
Yep, I hear you. Hey, it's made me focus my attention on soccer. I used to follow football a lot too, and now, I think I know the quarterback for the Broncos, but I just know his name is Bo Nix, because that's a weird name. But I don't know. Like, I used to follow the NFL pretty religiously and be in all the fantasy football stuff, and I'm grateful now that I'm not,
I agree with that. Same.
Yeah. I've been able to put football aside and just go with football.
The real football.
Yeah.
The one that they actually use their foot for almost the entire time.
It's funny, I still cheer for all the kickers. Every time the kickers are kicking, I'm like, kick it in, dude. Kick it through. Kick it through.
Do this.
Oh, you did it. Oh, wait, that's against me. Oh, well, who cares?
Yeah, same thing. I'm really thankful we've been able to do this. I've really started to focus more on, the game, and it's just brought a lot of joy, especially both Real Salt Lake and Crawley. It's been a lot of fun paying attention and getting deeper into the whole soccer atmosphere.
Yeah. And thank you, fans. Thanks for watching this, so we keep doing it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, have a great holiday. Not only Thanksgiving, the whole holiday season. We hope you enjoy it all the way through until January, and then it's just like gray and dreary, right?
But remember, we're going to keep putting out episodes, so keep checking it out, keep looking us up, keep after it. We're going to keep after it too, because we love the off season, not because we're not playing, but because we get to then talk to people that are pretty cool and tell us fun stuff, and we learn more about the game and about the team and about soccer in general.
Yeah, so follow us wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow us on YouTube as well, Goals TV, and wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere else.
Yep.
We put it out everywhere.
Just tell your friends about it.
Tell your mom.
Yep. We love you. Bye.